What's going on, guys? We're back. Today's video is a little bit different. I'm driving to base to pick up some breakfast. It's Sunday, September 5th, so I'll be driving while I record this video. Just kind of going over some of my thoughts and stuff on how things are going. Don't mind me, I just passed that red light. That's how things are here in Korea. You just kind of stop when it suits your needs and stuff like that. But anyways, guys, one thing I just wanted to just throw it out there. I think there's a lot of debate right now in the hobby talking about PSA, SGC, BGS, and my opinion, just solely what I've seen from my experience, in my opinion, is that, I think it depends on what you're in the hobby for, right? So I think that's a pretty obvious answer, right? If you're in it to maximize your profits and all that, you would go with PSA, right? Because their resale value trumps everything else, right? If you're in the flipping game, SGC is definitely a leader in that category. But I want to talk about CSG, right? They're kind of like the new kids on the block. They have a lot of backing, of course, and I don't think I would have been a believer in CSG until I received my first submission back from CSG. Their slabs are just the best out there. I don't think there is a better slab out there than CSG. They are crystal clear. Apologize for it being kind of blurry. Here, let me try to get you guys a better view. Here we go. So what I'm saying is that I think CSG is definitely a play going forward. One thing I did notice on my last CSG submission is that I submit a lot of 90's cards, like early 90's, 92 tops, all the way up until the early 2000s, 2003, 2004, 5, 7, of just decent players from that era, right? I'm not talking about all-time greats. I'm talking about decent players, Sean Marion, Alonzo Mourning, right? Alonzo Mourning, and I can't think of others on top of my head right now while I'm driving. But I submitted players that were decent from that era in CSG slabs without the subgrades, right? So just the grade alone, and many of them have sold quick, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do another submission to CSG probably in the next few weeks. Another bulk order, probably about 50 cards, grade only. So it's $8 a card times 50, so about $400 plus shipping and whatever fees they attach to it. So, but I had no problem moving cards for 25, 30 bucks, right? And you may think like, that's not a lot of money and all this, but in reality, if you're in it for $8, right, plus shipping and handling, so you're in it for $9. If you're moving them for 30 bucks, 35, I've sold a bunch of them for $50, $60. That's pretty good. You're not gonna get rich off this, but you're gonna build your bankroll. That's the thing, is that I'm building my bankroll so that I can afford to go after the stuff that I think are long-term investments, right? I'm going after, some of my PC stuff, right? A lot of, Luka Doncic, right? Rookie cards, I think they're great long-term. Unopened wax, especially from the 90's and 2000's. Especially now with the new deals with Fanatics and all that. I think think as more and more unopened wax gets open, it's going to create the values of, you know, that early 90s, mid 90s stuff to go up. So it's about building your bankroll. You know, I'm not rich. I'm not one of these guys that bought a card for $50 and sold it for 20,000, 30,000. That's not me. I'm like an everyday guy, right? I'm no different from anyone else. You know, I get my money, I pay my bills. You know, I get paid by my job, I pay my bills, and some of the money I make from the hobby, you know, I put it back into the hobby. So that's just kind of like where I'm at with it right now. I think my next one, I'm gonna go ahead and do a 50 card bulk submission to CSG. Nothing but 90s players and 2000s. You know, I noticed rookies and autos from that era going up quite a bit. So they move real easy. So I'm gonna try it again, see how it goes. But I just want to get your thoughts. Maybe there's something else that you know, maybe that's driving this. But I do think it's just an era. You know, there's a lot of guys in my shoes that are in their 30s, you know, mid 30s, late 30s, early 40s that grew up in that era that are now, you know, adults with you know, income, careers, and all that. And I think they appreciate those players from that era. But that's it, guys. I just want to take a quick minute, and we will talk to you guys later, right? Be safe out there, take care, and stay safe.